Namo Buddhaya, Namaste. So, what is meditation? For most of us, we come to meditation to find some sense of peace and calm within our minds, some escape from the busy world and turmoil outside. And for me, this was the same initially. I sought an escape, a way of getting away from the vicissitudes of existence, from the stresses, the worries, and the anxieties created in everyday household and working life. When we delve deeper into meditation, after our first experiences of meditation with a teacher or with a group or alone, learning from a book or from a video on YouTube, we may experience initial states of calm, relaxation, and to some extent a little escapism. And after all, that is what drew us to meditation in the first place. And we can consider that a stage that is successful. And of course, that is because anything that is calming the mind and causing some physical relaxation is a good thing. And that is the first stage towards developing samadhi. Samadhi is the Pali word for, well, often translated into English, concentration. However, I prefer to use the translation of focused or single-pointedness, because concentration implies concentrating like this. If you're concentrating on a hard task, something difficult to do, you can notice physically your body will tense. Facially, in your facial expressions, your little facial muscles will also tense like this. This is a very good indicator that you're concentrating, you're really working hard towards something. Now, of course, if our aim is to develop relaxation both physically and a calming and peaceful effect on the mind, this kind of concentrated, straining effort isn't going to do that. So what we're trying to achieve with samadhi is a single-pointed, focused view of a meditation object, which will in turn establish a clarity and a calming and a settling of the mind. And this stage of samadhi is called in the Pali language Khanika Samadhi. It is mental stabilization and relaxation. But this isn't the goal. If we really want to practice meditation, we need to develop a deeper level of samadhi, that which really can bring our mind to single-pointedness and enable its analytical abilities, qualities, to have some form of realization, if you like, enlightenment. In other words, to become aware, awake, and understand the true nature, the faculties of existence for what they really are, know the truth, and become free from suffering in this lifetime. So once we can really establish our initial focus and settle our minds on one single meditation object, and let's say that is the breath, just simply observing and watching, breathing in, breathing out. Is the breath long? Is the breath short? Is the breath deep? Is the breath shallow? For some time, we will find ourselves slowly and with practice on a regular basis, able to go into the second stage of samadhi, which in Pali they call parikama samadhi, or neighbourhood concentration. The first one, Kanika Samadhi, in the English means momentary concentration, so you're just getting snippets of focus, momentary levels of calm, and then you're moving out of it and bringing your then concentration or your attention back to your meditation object. But when you develop into the second stage of meditation, Parikama Samadhi, you are able to keep your focus more on the meditation object for longer. So they call this initial focus on the meditation object preliminary concentration, or sometimes they call it neighbourhood concentration. This is again number 2. This is the second part, the second stage of meditation. We, throughout our meditation, are constantly bombarded with distraction. Not only from distraction externally, in fact this is the least of our problems, but distractions internally. We call them the hindrances. 5. There are only 5, and they're the same 5 hindrances that we have throughout our lives in everything we're trying to do, in everything we're trying to achieve. There are 5 things that get in our way. And the first of these 5 things is sensual desire, wanting something, wanting a cup of coffee, wanting to go on holiday. It can be anything, but that desire is taking your attention, your focus away from either the job in hand, or in terms of meditation, your concentration on the meditation object. I still keep using the word concentration. It's the easiest word to use for conventional purposes to describe single-pointedness and focus. So just remember, when I say concentration, I don't mean this. I mean just relaxing and thinking of one thing, like focusing a camera. So this is the first of 5 obstacles or hindrances, sensual desire. And then there is aversion or ill will or not wanting something. So almost the opposite of desire, and also paralleling a little bit with disliking or even hatred. So this can occur. It can be about what you're actually doing. It could be, oh, I don't want to be sitting here practicing this meditation. I'm uncomfortable and it's not going well. This is aversion to what you're doing, and it is also distracting, taking you away from your purpose, whether it's in life, in whatever you're doing, in your work, or even your social activities. If you're not liking it, you're not with it. You're not enjoying it in each and every moment. Your attention is diverted to internal aversion against that task. This is a major distraction. But we bring our attention back to our meditation object, and we keep doing that, just that. And this is what trains the mind to stay focused on one single thing. When we can sustain this for some time, that is what we call upacharya samadhi, staying with the meditation object enough to reduce or even be able to ignore those hindrances. That is only the first 2 of 5. I mentioned 5. The third they call sloth and torpor, which is just tiredness, lack of energy, lack of enthusiasm. But I can't be bothered with this anymore. I'm going to go and do something else, more stimulating. This can also just result in falling asleep. Excuse me. Take some deep breaths, or even get up and practice some walking meditation. But there are various ways to cancel out, to reduce the effects of each of these 5 hindrances, which we can deal with in a separate subject matter. But for now, just know the third is tiredness. It's the first two, the problematical ones in our initial stages of practicing meditation. Then the fourth is restlessness and worry. Well, these can be attributed only to memories of the past or imaginations of the future. Thinking of the past or thinking of the future. Restlessness is planning the future, wondering what's going to happen. And worry can be about things you may have said or done in the past through body, speech and mind. Now, when we sit down to meditate, must always leave the past behind us and not worry or think about the future, and bring our attention, our awareness into the present moment. Because the past is just memory, and memories are unreliable, so the past is not real. The future is just imagination. It's imagination based on past experiences, memory. So again, this imagination is not real. It hasn't happened. It might not happen. So the past, the future are unreal. What is real is right here and now. What you're focusing on, if it's your meditation object of the breath, that is happening right here, right now, within your body. And it is unarguable. That is it. It is just that. And this is where you need to be, to focus your attention, single-pointedness, and develop this concentration. Only with this can you move into Anapana Samadhi, which is a total absorption in that meditation object, and moving towards what you may have heard of, the jhanas in meditation. It can be a controversial subject in some schools of thought, but they're not really. They're just stages of samadhi, just stages of meditation, stages of enjoyment, if you like, levels of enjoyment. But we don't regard them as levels. They're not grades, they're not achievements in that sense. What they are is demarcations, just labels for conventional purposes to help us describe to each other where we're at with our teachers and our meditation. But the final and fifth hindrance or obstacle, both in meditation and everyday life, is doubt. If we doubt our intentions and what we're doing, then this does cause us to move away from the focus of attention on our meditation object. Have faith. If you keep practicing this and you keep trying this, you're not asking yourself to believe in anything. You're asking yourself to try something. If it works, you'll stick with it. If it doesn't, you won't. Now, after very many years of meditation, I was sticking with it. Eventually, I gave everything up just to have a life where I could just practice meditation. Renunciation, giving up my former life, becoming a monk, was only so that I could practice meditation. So yes, for me, it worked, but it won't work for everybody. But it can work for you if you put in a little time, not much, each day practicing. And I will, in future, make some short and longer videos regarding meditation, some guided meditations. But really, the effort has to be on your part, to disciplined sitting regularly every day and practicing meditation. Because only then are you able to get into that fourth stage of samadhi, Anapana Samadhi. Prior to that, only with real effort will you attain Upachara Samadhi, so that concentration on the meditation object whereby those 5 hindrances aren't distracting you. And prior to that, preliminary concentration, if you remember, the Parikrama Samadhi, just being able to remain focused for some time on the meditation object, but still being aware of those hindrances. And before that is really just mental stabilization and relaxation, Kanika Samadhi, which is where I started this short video of coming to meditation to relax and find peace of mind. And there is really nothing wrong with that either. If you just want Kanika Samadhi to relax, mental stabilization and find peace of mind and bodily calm also, then you can also do this through sitting in meditation. Inevitably, however, it will develop into Parikrama Samadhi, Upacharya Samadhi and Anapana Samadhi eventually, if you keep at it. Because as I said, it's not concentration, it's not effort, it's sitting and doing nothing. Sitting and doing no thing. Just watching the meditation object. And this is meditation. It is just that. Okay? Namo Buddhaya.